आहारस्तवपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रिया यज्ञ तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु. Even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now, here are the distinctions between them. In terms of different situations in the modes of material nature, there are differences in the manner of eating and performing sacrifices, austerities, and charities. They are not all conducted on the same level. Those who can understand analytically what kind of performances are in what modes of material nature are actually wise. And those who consider all kinds of sacrifice or food or charity to be the same cannot discriminate, and they are foolish. There are missionary workers who advocate that one can do whatever he likes and attain perfection. But these foolish guides are not acting according to the direction of the scripture. They are manufacturing ways and misleading the people in general. Ayu Sattva Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rasyaha Snigdha Sthira Hridaya Ahara Satvika Priya. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of one's life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Khatav amla lapanati ushna tikshna ruksha vidahina ahara rajasasyeshtha dukkha shokamaya prada. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Yatayamam gatarasam Uti paryushitam chayat Uchishtam napi Chamedyam Bhojanam Tamasa Priyam. Foods prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Purport. The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. This is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are dear to those, very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Some other foods, such as baked corn and molasses, while not very palatable in themselves, can be made pleasant when mixed with milk or other foods. They are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. Fatty foods, as mentioned in the 8th verse, have no connection with animal fat obtained by slaughter. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in a form which rules out any need for the killing of innocent creatures. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining the needed fat is by milk. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Now, foods in the mode of passion, which are bitter, too salty, are too hot, or overly mixed with red pepper, they cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. Foods in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Because they are decomposing, such foods give a bad odor, which often attracts people in this mode and repulses those in the mode of goodness. Remnants of food may be eaten only when they are part of a meal that was first offered to the Supreme Lord, or first eaten by saintly persons, especially the spiritual master. Otherwise, the remnants of foods are considered to be in the mode of darkness, and they increase infection and disease. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mode of darkness, are neither liked nor even touched by those in the mode of goodness. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Of course, devotion and love are the chief things which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts. But it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be taken even if prepared long, long ago. Because such food is transcendental. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The nature of this world in its very genesis is not very difficult to understand. But as the world transforms from the platform of as the world transforms from the platform of reality, or gets corrupted from the platform of reality, and then passes on to the realm of illusion, it becomes very complicated to decipher and make sense. So everything in this world is offering us a ride. Ride. Everything in this world is offering us a ride. Uh, so we choose, and then we get picked up, and we get deposited to different stations, is it not? At different junctures. So that is the point. The choice is always with respect to the living end. Therefore, the Lord is telling that actually one should be able to recognize. An intelligent person should be able to analytically recognize. There are only three kind of trains which are available, and everything is fitting in those three things. Everything is rather a ride picking up vehicle, and therefore very consciously and meticulously one should choose one's situations. The Lord is beginning with the most uh, so the Lord is beginning to talk about uh, food, inputs. What kind of inputs we are giving to ourselves? Uh, in terms of what kind of inputs we are giving to ourselves, we get side tuned towards, or we get picked up by goodness, our passion, our ignorance. So in this material world, there is nothing other than these modes, and each of these modes can be understood by their respective effect what it produces, and each of them have a very distinct effect, is it not? Whereas the effect of mode of goodness is knowledge and happiness, the effect of mode of passion is burning, and the effect of mode of ignorance is destructive, self-destructive, as well as madness. So by these effects, uh, we can understand what is acting, and what is happening to us. In terms of eatables, in terms of not talking in terms of eatables, so we will see actually, holistically speaking, the living entity makes his own house. There are only three types of houses which are available. There are only three types of forces which are available. So, and therefore, one should very analytically choose what one wants to add in. Now, the Lord is telling in terms of eatables that eatables have to be that which can increase the duration of one's life, that which can purify our existence. It increases longevity. That's more of goodness. Such kind of foods are juicy, they're fatty, they're wholesome. They give strength, they give vitality. It is a very interesting phenomena which we can observe. And the phenomena is that, you see, uh, uh, taste is a matter of tuning. Taste is not an taste is not uh, uh, taste is not at all an objective phenomenon. It all depends on tuning. So what appears tasty, what doesn't appear tasty, is all a game of illusion and imagination. By how a particular person tunes himself and trains himself, different set of things start appearing to be tasty. And now when we talk about tuning, there are only these three categories of modes. What exactly we are tuning ourselves to. This is quite interesting because we can see it's all a matter of training. Uh, because we have seen that if one wants, one can develop taste for certain things, and one can develop taste for certain things. And we have seen that happening. It's just like sometimes. It's just like sometimes. Uh, so I've seen one can develop taste for certain things. Uh, just like you see, out of just like sometimes some children, spoiled children, they only have a taste for chocolates and biscuits. They don't find anything else tasty, or they find Coca-Cola tasty, or so. But it very much relates not with the actual item. It very much relates with the preconceived notions that a person is carrying. It very much relates to the preconceived notions which one is carrying. Whereas, uh, whereas the same person, when he grows up, the same person when he grows up uh, uh, can develop a taste for can develop a taste uh, for maybe vegetables and fruits. It is all a matter of tuning oneself. That's all. It's just a matter of tuning oneself. There's nothing else. Similarly, we have seen actually. So when we came to Bengal, then certain flavors of Bengal are uh, was difficult to take in, like things cooked in sarso, and posto, and the typical Bengal. But over a period of time, devotees start liking it. Anything is there, they also want to eat jhalmuri, and put some sarso, and I have seen over a period of time, devotees encouraging. They said, Prabhu, put a little sarso, it will give punch. It will give a punch taste. Just lock it with little sarso, like that. But so how one gets tuned in, trained in. So what is taste? What is taste? It's just a matter of training ourselves, is it? So now this training can work on a positive ground. This training can work on a artificial ground as well. So this training can work on an artificial ground also. How this training can work on artificial ground? Artificial ground is that when we give in to fashions, then uh, then that's artificial ground, is it not? Like we have seen in our uh, yeah, like in the past I have shared cases with all of you about our devotees hankering for pasta and lasagna, how all that creeped into our Calcutta culture, and even here in KGP, the Sankalpa camp, our devotees were dying to eat the pasta, and they were just waiting, but they were all kind of blocked because the first years had to take first. The only the remnants will come, like that. But the first years didn't even look at it. What is this? Funnel, is it? Because and our devotees were ecstatic, bucket after bucket of pasta, like that. So it's all illusory indoctrination. That's all. Actually. So it's all illusory indoctrination. So this goes to show that this whole game of no. So this goes to show that you see, even a simple activity as eating requires one to be conscious, requires one to have some value systems behind, and not be just indiscriminate. One may say, okay, where do value systems guide us? Value systems guide us everywhere. Value systems have to be there behind eating also. Value systems have to be there behind eating also. Why? Because otherwise, indiscriminate eating is a clean pathway, or is an open and clean pathway to hell. That's exactly how it is. Indiscriminate eating. So there has to be value systems. What do I consider as so what do I consider as as good, and what do I consider as bad? That's the point. What do I consider good and bad? That's the thing. Actually, I would say, initial days I had come to Calcutta, eating some of the the Bengali sabjis would be very difficult, but although the training although my training had not been a very selective one, not much selectivity was, the culture was not like that. I mean, I was not trained like that I can, too much raise my nose and all that. Whatever was given was taken. That's it. No questions entertained thereof. No questions, no comments. Just accept. So that was the kind of training which was given. Uh, but still, it was a bit difficult. Although I would not react, but take little quantity. But over a period of time, I'm able to see that it's quite normal and natural now to eat any over a period of time that disease got removed very easily. And I mean, that disease got removed. So that is a point. That is a point. Now, the simplest uh, uh, now the simplest flavor, the simplest thing actually which one can relate to, or the simplest the simplest sum rule which one can relate to is that whatever is naturally available, better one better one develops an affinity, a value system to develop an affinity for natural things, that which is naturally available, that which is so what is natural has to be one level up than what is artificial. What's natural has to be always one level up than what is artificial. Natural. What is the natural taste? The natural taste of so natural taste. So this should be a thumb rule actually, which should guide us. Okay, where is the passion and where is goodness? That which is natural will be inherently supplied in the mode of goodness. And therefore, Prabhupada is talking about milk, cereals, uh, rice, wheat, vegetables. Uh, they're the mode of goodness. And we offer the wholesome thing to Krishna, and then we accept it. It is in the mode of goodness. It's wholesome. Everything is there what is needed for us, and it purifies. Is it not? So, and it purifies. But that which goes on artificial trajectories introduces passion. Therefore, Prabhupada, so therefore you see Bhagavad Gita directives of mode of passion are what? All these Bhagavad Gita directives of mode of passions are extreme situations. No? Too much salty, too much, what is that, chili, too much salty, too much chili, too much hot again, chili, similar things, too much hot. So that's mode of passion because that is artificial, is it not? So too much processing, if it is required to make something, it's not much. Is that means we have to understand too much of hard work is required, too much of processing is required, too much of here and there juxtapositions are required, like that. Artificially trying to inject taste. That means going in the modes of passion. The steering has gone to the hands of passion. Natural tastes, like that. Natural tastes. That's the idea. Little question?
That means eating should not be by tongue, it should be by intelligence.
Yes.
Because I'm the Mumbai, so we used to tell our patients who are having diabetic retinopathy, even if you are fond of diabetes causing damage to the eye, you're fond of eating sugar. Doesn't matter how much you like sugar, but it's not good for you. So you have to switch to
Yes.
the start of the taste for Karela because there is other.
Yes. So yes. So that is a good comment. Eating should not be by tongue, but by intelligence. And if you incorporate intelligence first and set value systems, your likings one can change. That's the point. So one will not be uh, enslaved by provocations, enslaved by stimulus and provocations. One will be able to. That's the beauty of it. One will not be enslaved by provocations, and in that way one can actually experience freedom. You know, one can think beyond eating. Is it not?
Yes.
You know, to be able to think beyond eating is a big thing in this world
Yes.
because people live to eat. Uh, uh, yeah, at people live to eat. Even in a village, you may not find soap, but you will find the dhabas. Is it not? So even in a village scenario, in a very elaborated, because in a tongue like that. Therefore, they say if you want to open something, if you open something on food, it will be always a success because little bit you produce a little bit of taste here and there, people are ready to spend money.
And still they are not satisfied.
So this is the point. This is the point. Yes, question. Yes. Indiscriminate eating doesn't just refer to uh, indiscriminate eating doesn't just refer to meat eating. Obviously, meat eating is the first step of that. Indiscriminate eating refers to uh, yeah, without yes, without any value systems we eat. In the modern sense of the term, they call it as hogging. So let's hog. Yeah, eating is called as hogging in the modern sense of the terminology. In corporate culture, they will not say let's eat, let's hog. So the idea of the idea of hogging means directly into passion and ignorance. Actually, wholesome, wholesome. Like I have seen in Bengali culture, there is a very nice way of taking. There is a very nice way of taking food. What they do is that they it's quite nice, Bengali tradition. Uh, so in the culture, so what they would do is what the people do is that They keep rice as a base, yeah? And then they mix different kind of vegetables in the rice, and then they taste it. So a little bit of rice with one type of vegetable, a little bit of rice. All these vegetables only have salt in it, nothing else. Majorly, they only have salt in it. Nothing much is there. Means not much here and there artificial, garam masala and those kind of things. Nothing is there. They are quite simple like that, because the vegetables have their inherent taste. That's the point. And and the rice actually becomes a base, like a breadboard, and the taste of the sabjis come, like that. So when I used to observe initially, I was a bit perplexed, but then I tried it out. I understood. Yes, and I mean that's very nice. We are actually relishing the natural taste of things. They're naturally relishing the natural taste of things. So things made. Therefore, I have seen there is not much, uh, like in Bengali tradition. If you see in Shukta and all, nothing is cooked fried. Not much fried culture is there. The Karela will also pass as it is. It's not fried. Like that. So many things they just pass as it is, like that. But so that the natural taste comes out, like that. So yeah. So the idea is very simple actually. The idea is that which is natural uh, can is relishable. Even water is so relishable. Krishna is telling, I am taste of water, but that's not just a passing comment. And the water is really very tasty, is it not? Uh, not just when one is hungry, but otherwise also. No, if one is tuned in. So therefore, actually, one should not give as a sadhaka, one should not give much weightage to one's likings and the whims and fancies of taste. And we as devotees, even in our cooking, we should not go too artificial. That's the whole point. So not that we should not go unnecessarily too artificial. Actually,